How the British royal family found itself at the center of the most talked about story in the world.
Prince William finally revealed the shocking decision on Queen Camilla. The silence is broken, and the royal world is reeling. Prince William, long reserved on the issue of Queen Camilla, has made a stunning declaration that could alter the dynamics of the entire monarchy. What led to this unexpected decision, and what are its implications for the royal family? In this episode, we will explain more information. Before we get started, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content. Also, check out the next video on your screen. You might like it. Before diving into the tough decision made by Prince William, it's essential to explore both his and Queen Camilla's backgrounds to understand their connections to the throne. Prince William, the eldest son of King Charles III, and the late Princess Diana, was born during the reign of his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II. His formative years were shaped by prestigious education at Wetherby School, Ludgrove School, and Eton College. Later, at the University of St. Andrews, where he earned a Master of Arts in Geography, he met his future wife, Catherine Middleton. Following his university years, William pursued rigorous military training at the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst, eventually serving in the Blues and Royals. His dedication to service continued in 2008 when he graduated from the Royal Air Force College Cranwell, later joining the RAF Search and Rescue Force in 2009. His desire to help others led him to work as a full-time pilot with the East Anglian Air Ambulance from July 2015 for 2 years. Alongside his military career, William fulfills numerous royal duties on behalf of the monarchy. He is heavily involved in charitable and military organizations, including the Tusk Trust, Centrepoint, The Passage, Wales, Air Ambulance, and London's Air Ambulance Charity. Through the Royal Foundation, he champions causes such as mental health, conservation, homelessness, and supporting emergency workers. William made a significant environmental impact by launching the Earthshot Prize in 2020, a $50 million initiative promoting innovative solutions to help protect the planet over the next decade. His dedication and responsibilities were recognized when he was granted the title of Duke of Cambridge just before his wedding to Catherine Middleton in April 2011. After his father's ascension to the throne in September 2022, William also took on the titles of Duke of Cornwall and Duke of Rothesay, and was officially named Prince of Wales the following day. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on his notable achievements across these various roles. Cambridge Duke. On the day of his wedding in April 2011, William was honored with the distinguished titles of Duke of Cambridge, Earl of Strathearn, and Baron Carrickfergus. Shortly after their marriage, William and Catherine embarked on a memorable summer tour of Canada. Esteemed BBC journalist Nicholas Witchell praised the tour as a resounding success, noting the couple's active involvement in activities such as tree planting and street hockey. Continuing their ambassadorial roles, William and Catherine represented the royal family at the 2012 Summer Olympics in London, where they attended numerous events and engaged with athletes and spectators alike. In September 2013, the couple embarked on a grand tour of Singapore, Malaysia, Tuvalu, and the Solomon Islands in honor of the Queen's Diamond Jubilee. That same year, in October, William took on a new milestone in his royal duties by presiding over his first investiture ceremony at Buckingham Palace. In April 2014, the royal couple set off on a tour of New Zealand and Australia, with their young son George in tow. Their charm and grace captivated audiences across both nations. Later that year, in August, William and Catherine, along with Prince Harry, represented the royal family at the First World War commemorations in Belgium, paying solemn tribute to the fallen soldiers. The couple continued their diplomatic efforts with a visit to New York and Washington, D.C. in December, where William delivered a powerful speech at the World Bank, condemning the illegal wildlife trade and reinforcing their commitment to pressing global issues. In 2015 and 2016, Prince William further extended his royal engagements, embarking on official visits to countries across Asia, including Japan, China, Bhutan, and India. Prince William's visit to mainland China was a milestone, as he was the first royal to do so in nearly 30 years, earning praise for his diplomatic finesse. Despite some criticism, William remained committed to his royal duties, focusing on fatherhood and his work with air ambulance services. In 2017, William and Catherine traveled to France, Poland, Germany, and Belgium, reinforcing the UK's European relations post-Brexit. In 2019, their historic visit to Pakistan strengthened ties and highlighted their commitment to climate change and education. William and Catherine's efforts continued with a tour of England, Scotland, and Wales, recognizing the work of communities and charities. In 2021, they toured Scotland and participated in the G7 summit. In 2022, they visited Belize, the Bahamas, and Jamaica as part of the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations, addressing issues like reparations for slavery. William also attended the state opening of Parliament as a Councillor of State. Wales's Prince. By November 2022, Prince William participated in an event where he met with Welsh First Minister Mark Drakeford, discussing critical issues affecting the country. This was followed by the Duke and Duchess of Cornwall's first visit to Falmouth in February 2023, where they connected with local residents and deepened their understanding of the area's rich history and culture. In March 2023, Prince William embarked on a solo trip to Poland, meeting with Polish and British troops, as well as Ukrainian refugees in Rzeszów. He also held important diplomatic talks with Polish President Andrzej Duda at the presidential palace, aimed at bolstering relations between the two nations. In October 2023, Prince William and Catherine made a public statement condemning the Hamas-led attack on Israel, underscoring their commitment to peace and regional stability. Fast forward to February 2024. Prince William visited the British Red Cross headquarters, where he met with aid workers supporting civilians affected by the Israel-Gaza conflict. He delivered a powerful statement, backed by the UK government, calling for an immediate cessation of hostilities and stressing the urgent need for humanitarian aid. Later that month, Prince William made the difficult choice to withdraw from a Thanksgiving service for his godfather, Constantine II of Greece, due to a personal matter. However, he continued his work by visiting the Western Marble Arch Synagogue, where he addressed the rise of anti-Semitism and the humanitarian crisis in the Middle East, reinforcing his ongoing commitment to fostering tolerance and understanding across diverse communities. Camilla the Queen. Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, grew up in the charming surroundings of East Sussex and South Kensington in England. Despite her first marriage's end, Camilla's relationship with Prince Charles continued to grow over time. Their romance, which began in their youth, endured through their respective marriages and became the focus of intense media attention and public curiosity. In 2005, the couple finally married at the historic Windsor Guildhall, followed by a televised Anglican blessing at St. George's Chapel in Windsor Castle. Upon their marriage, Camilla took on the title of Duchess of Cornwall and fully embraced her royal duties. With the passing of Queen Elizabeth II on September 8, 2022, Charles ascended to the throne, and Camilla seamlessly stepped into the role of Queen Consort. Their grand coronation at Westminster Abbey on May 6, 2023, was a monumental event, celebrated worldwide. Beyond osteoporosis, she has also been an active campaigner for a variety of societal issues. But how does she balance all these responsibilities? Has anything been neglected? Let's explore. Cambridge Duchess. Upon assuming the title of Duchess of Cornwall, Camilla was elevated to the distinguished rank of second highest woman in the British order of precedence, outranked only by Queen Elizabeth. In the other Commonwealth realms, where she holds titles, such as Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, she generally ranks 5th or 6th, positioned behind the Queen, the Viceroy, the Duke of Edinburgh, and the Prince of Wales. Notably, Queen Elizabeth made a specific adjustment to the royal order of precedence for private events, placing Camilla 4th in line, following only the Queen, Princess Anne, and Princess Alexandra. This gesture affirmed Camilla's significant role within the royal family and reinforced her standing in official matters. Shortly after her marriage to Charles, the Queen symbolically welcomed Camilla into the royal family by lending her the beautiful Greville tiara, once owned by the Queen Mother. In addition, she was honored with the badge of the Royal Family Order of Elizabeth II. Following their wedding, Clarence House became the couple's official residence, with Camilla and Charles frequently retreating to Birkhall for holidays and Highgrove House in Gloucestershire for family gatherings. In 2008, they established a residence at Llwynni Wermod in Wales, where they spend their summers. Despite her royal duties, Camilla continues to maintain Mill House, her residence from 1995 to 2003, as a private retreat where she spends time with her children and grandchildren, emphasizing her deep commitment to family and tradition. In recognition of Camilla's service to the royal family, the Queen marked the 7th anniversary of her marriage to Prince Charles on April 9, 2012, by bestowing upon her the Royal Victorian Order, a highly respected honor. Camilla was also honored with the title of Royal Lady of the Most Noble Order of the Garter on January 1, 2022, a recognition of her steadfast dedication to the crown. From 2005 to 2022, Camilla has proven to be an indefatigable royal figure, completing an astounding 3,986 engagements. Her deep commitment to numerous charitable causes has left a lasting positive legacy, and her journey as Duchess of Cornwall has been one marked by moments of joy, honor, and challenges that have shaped her into the widely respected figure she is today. Camilla formally took on the title of Queen Consort on September 8, 2022, a significant moment as Charles III ascended to the throne following the death of Queen Elizabeth II. In the aftermath of this transition, Camilla introduced the Queen's Companion, an innovative role that offers informal support during royal events, freeing the position from the more traditional and demanding tasks of a lady-in-waiting. On July 5th, Camilla joined Charles at the National Service of Thanksgiving at St. Giles's Cathedral, where he was presented with the honours of Scotland. Significantly, Camilla has opted not to receive a parliamentary annuity, with her activities instead funded through the sovereign grant, reflecting her dedication to a modern and sustainable approach to royal service. Regarding her relationship with Prince William, despite their differing personalities, the two have developed a surprisingly amicable and respectful bond. The royal family has faced its share of difficulties in recent years, particularly regarding the dynamics between William and Camilla. Early on, William is said to have harbored deep resentment toward his stepmother, holding her responsible for the breakdown of his father's marriage to Princess Diana. Their bond has gradually softened as they support their spouses through various personal challenges, leading to a notable improvement in their relationship. In an interview with Fox News, royal expert Hilary Fordwich shared insights about the evolution of Prince William's relationship with Queen Camilla. Initially marked by disdain, William's feelings towards Camilla have softened, recognizing her unwavering dedication to royal duties. As they support their spouses through cancer treatment, their bond has deepened, with William valuing the happiness Camilla brings to his father, King Charles III. Despite their turbulent history, their relationship now reflects mutual understanding and appreciation for each other's roles within the royal family. Fordwich highlighted that Camilla's presence serves as a source of solace for King Charles, and William respects the joy she adds to his father's life, and even needed a vodka tonic to steady her nerves afterward. Anderson explained that Camilla's apprehension was understandable, given her involvement in the breakdown of William's parents' marriage. While Camilla's affair with Charles, which began in the late 1970s, was a source of controversy, William remained composed during their initial meeting. Over time, their interactions have been marked by respect, in part because Camilla chose not to influence or interfere in William's life. Anderson pointed out that Camilla did not try to play a maternal role, acknowledging the boundaries between her and Charles's sons. Though Camilla is not seen as a disciplinarian, her influence within the royal family is described as subtle yet effective. Despite this, Camilla remains a steadfast presence, attending key royal events such as the Queen's 70-year Platinum Jubilee service at St. Paul's Cathedral. Her grace in navigating these complexities has earned her admiration both inside and outside the monarchy. Ward further explained that William approaches matters with careful consideration and swift decision-making, in contrast to Charles, who is more emotionally driven and struggles with decisions. Camilla, as a steady support for Charles, ensures that William is mindful of his father's position and steps in when necessary. Although William and Camilla have developed a relatively amicable relationship, recognizing each other's strengths and the need for mutual support, tensions remain between Camilla and Prince Harry, Despite the improvement in Camilla's relationship with William over the years, Prince Harry continues to harbor negative feelings towards her. In his 2023 memoir Spare, Harry expressed his lingering grievances with Camilla, rooted in past conflicts and differences in perspective. This ongoing tension has created a noticeable rift between Harry and Camilla, even as William and Camilla's relationship has evolved towards greater harmony. In an interview with Fox News, royal expert Hilary Fordwich shared insights about the evolution of Prince William's relationship with Queen Camilla. In an interview with Fox News, royal expert Hilary Fordwich shared insights about the evolution of Prince William's relationship with Queen Camilla. Initially marked by disdain, William's feelings towards Camilla have softened, recognizing her unwavering dedication to royal duties. As they support their spouses through cancer treatment, their bond has deepened, with William valuing the happiness Camilla brings to his father, King Charles III. Despite their turbulent history, their relationship now reflects mutual understanding and appreciation for each other's roles within the royal family. Fordwich highlighted that Camilla's presence serves as a source of solace for King Charles, and William respects the joy she adds to his father's life. This evolving dynamic follows comments by Christopher Anderson, author of The King, who described William and Camilla's first meeting as frosty. Camilla had been nervous about facing William due to her role in the dissolution of Charles's marriage to Princess Diana. Anderson revealed that during their long-anticipated meeting at Clarence House, Camilla was visibly anxious and even needed a vodka tonic to steady her nerves afterward. Anderson explained that Camilla's apprehension was understandable, given her involvement in the breakdown of William's parents' marriage. While Camilla's affair with Charles, which began in the late 1970s, was a source of controversy, William remained composed during their initial meeting. Over time, their interactions have been marked by respect, in part because Camilla chose not to influence or interfere in William's life. Anderson pointed out that Camilla did not try to play a maternal role, acknowledging the boundaries between her and Charles's sons. Though Camilla is not seen as a disciplinarian, her influence within the royal family is described as subtle yet effective. She discreetly communicates any perceived issues regarding Prince William and Prince Harry to King Charles, ensuring that matters are addressed without overstepping her role. Camilla is also mindful of maintaining boundaries within the royal household, asserting herself when necessary, especially in ensuring that William shows proper respect towards his father. British broadcaster Helen Ward has also commented on the strained relationship between Prince William and King Charles, noting that their differing leadership styles often lead to conflicts. Despite this, Camilla remains a steadfast presence, attending key royal events such as the Queen's 70-year Platinum Jubilee service at St. Paul's Cathedral. Her grace in navigating these complexities has earned her admiration both inside and outside the monarchy. Ward further explained that William approaches matters with careful consideration and swift decision-making, in contrast to Charles, who is more emotionally driven and struggles with decisions. Camilla, as a steady support for Charles, ensures that William is mindful of his father's position and steps in when necessary. Although William and Camilla have developed a relatively amicable relationship, recognizing each other's strengths and the need for mutual support, tensions remain between Camilla and Prince Harry. Despite the improvement in Camilla's relationship with William over the years, Prince Harry continues to harbor negative feelings towards her. In his 2023 memoir, Spare, Harry expressed his lingering grievances with Camilla, rooted in past conflicts and differences in perspective. This ongoing tension has created a noticeable rift between Harry and Camilla, even as William and Camilla's relationship has evolved towards greater harmony. That said, there's a lot to overcome. William and Harry had always distrusted Camilla and felt resentment toward her because of their devotion to their mother. They never felt comfortable opening up to her in any real way. William and Harry's distrust grew when they found out Camilla was leaking stories to the press to make herself look better. Apparently, William and Camilla got tighter amid all the drama with the Sussexes. It brought them closer. William and Kate don't want any extra drama or tension in the family. They have enough of that with Meghan and Harry, the source says. It was really Kate who warmed William to Camilla. She's never been dismissive of Camilla and always treated her with kindness. The Prince and Princess of Wales are also said to like that Camilla's normal. She makes Charles less stuffy. and she brings a real-life relatability into the family. She's not all about the courtiers waiting on hand and foot, notes the insider. Camilla's real like Kate is. Prince William and Queen. Camilla have a lot to overcome, claims royal insider. Ever since Prince William first met Camilla Parker Bowles all the way back in 1998, the world has been abuzz with various accounts of how their relationship developed after William's father, King Charles, introduced him to her during a break from Eton. The meeting took place when William was just 17 and had come home from the elite boarding school for the weekend when he met the woman that would one day become his stepmother at Clarence House. She was shaking like a leaf. Royal expert Christopher Anderson, the author of The King, The Life of Charles III, told Us Weekly of the now Queen Consort. As soon as William left, she said she needed a gin and tonic. Up until this formal meeting, Camilla had previously been known to both William and his younger brother Harry as the other woman, after his father famously had an affair with her during his marriage to Princess Diana, and Camilla, in turn, had been married to ex-Andrew Parker Bowles. Following their divorces and the tragic death of the Princess of Wales in August 1997, Charles and Camilla were free to pursue their long-running romance openly, and in time, finally declared to world that they were an official couple. Since that fateful meeting, the relationship between Camilla, 77, and William, 42, has been complicated at best, with many layers to their dynamic having softened over the years. Earlier this summer, it was revealed that William had made the decision to remove Camilla's sister, Annabel Elliot, from the Duchy of Cornwall payroll, after nearly 2 decades of service as Charles's chief interior designer. While this decision may have caused some friction in the family, it was never a snub, explains Anderson. It was simply an inevitable business decision, as William wants his own team in there, he said. That said, Camilla and William have made some progress in recent months, in light of both King Charles and Princess Kate having been diagnosed with cancer and undergoing treatment. William has warmed up to Camilla over time, a Parker Bowles family friend later revealed, with a source adding that the duo have a familial relationship these days. There's a lot to overcome, notes the source. William and Harry had always distrusted Camilla and felt resentment toward her because of their devotion to their mother. They never felt comfortable opening up to her in any real way. However, William has since made huge strides in building an amicable relationship with his stepmother, since his brother Prince Harry stepped back from royal duties in 2020. It brought them closer, added the source, as William and Kate didn't want to involve themselves in any more drama. In fact, the same source alleges that it was Kate's efforts to build bridges that helped to smooth things over between the pair, after she was accepting of Camilla long before others in the royal family. Both the Prince and Princess of Wales also appreciate Camilla's down-to-earth nature, and like the normality that she brings out in King Charles, with the Queen Consort keeping it real, just like Kate. However, royal expert. Anderson disagreed, and even claimed that the Queen Consort was initially against William and Kate dating, as she was kind of a snob, and didn't think that Kate was of their class to marry into the aristocracy. History, of course, has since proved such an assumption wrong, with William and Kate still happily married, and the proud parents to 3 children 13 years after first tying the knot in 2011. The history of God Save the King. Charles Dimon traces the origin and history of God Save the King, or God Save the Queen, the British national anthem. The origins of God Save the Queen are lost in obscurity, but there is no doubt whatever that the words and the tune, as we know them today, suddenly became widely popular in September 1745. In that month, demonstrations of loyalty to the reigning house were in special demand. Charles Edward, the young pretender, had routed Cope at Prestonpans and was about to invade England. London was preparing to defend itself and its Hanoverian rulers. An example of popular feeling was given on September 28th, when the entire male cast of Drury Lane Theatre announced their intention of forming a special unit of the Volunteer Defense Force. That evening, they gave a performance of Janssen's The Alchemist. At its conclusion, there was an additional item. 3 of the leading singers of the day, Mrs. Cibber, Beard, and Reinhold, stepped forward and began a special anthem. God bless our noble king. God save great George our king. The Daily Advertiser reported, the universal applause sufficiently denoted in how just an abhorrence they, the audience, hold the arbitrary schemes of our invidious enemies. The other theaters were quick to follow. Drury Lane. Benjamin Victor, the linen merchant, wrote to his friend Garrick, who was ill in the country, the stage is the most loyal place in the three kingdoms. And Mrs. Cibber noted, the rebellion, so far from being a disadvantage to the playhouses, brings them very good houses. Soon the anthem was being sung as far afield as Bath. Neither words nor music were new. They had been published in 1744 in the Thesaurus Musicus. Dr. Thomas Arney compiled Drury Lane's version in September 1745, and one of his younger pupils, Charles Burney, produced the setting for Covent Garden. 60 years later, the eminent Dr. Burney recalled some interesting facts about the origins of the anthem for the benefit of his friend Sir Joseph Banks, the naturalist. Burney, in common with all contemporaries dealing with the 1745 versions, referred to an old tune and an old anthem. He continued, old Mrs. Arne, the mother of Dr. Arne, and Mrs. Cibber, a bigoted Roman Catholic, said she had heard it sung not only at the playhouse, but in the street when the Prince of Orange was hovering over the coast. On a later occasion, Burney was more definite. The earliest copy of the words we are acquainted with begin, God save great, James our king. I asked Dr. Arne if he knew who the composer was. He said he had not the least knowledge, but that it was a received opinion, that it was written and composed for the Catholic chapel of James II. This is not unlikely. Musicians trace the origins of the melody from a medieval plainsong chant and on, through a carol, to a tune by the Elizabethan, John Bull. At the end of the 17th century, Purcell wrote a few bars, which are almost identical with the opening phrases of the Arne and Burney versions. There is not a shred of reliable evidence that either Henry Carey or the French composer, Lully, had a hand in the music. The words contain such an obvious sentiment of loyalty that it is impossible to give any precise date for their origin. The phrase, God save the king, occurs in several places in the earliest English translations of the Bible. An order of the fleet at Portsmouth for August 10, 1544, laid down the watchword for the day as God save King Henry, and the counterword as long to reign over us. From the accession of Queen Elizabeth, royal proclamations end with, God save the Queen. Several other ideas in the anthem, such as scatter our enemies and confound their devices, were often employed in loyal prayers of the 16th and 17th centuries for the sovereign and the state. It can be safely presumed that by the reign of James II, both words and music of God Save the King were known in an accepted form. It is possible, though this can be no more than speculation, that a Latin version, known to have been extant at the beginning of the 18th century, was first composed for use in his Catholic chapels. What is certain is that after the Revolution, the anthem was regarded as an expression of loyalty to the Hanoverian dynasty. It was not yet, of course, the national anthem. Such a concept would have been incomprehensible to the 18th century, but within a year or so of 1745 it was being played and sung whenever royalty appeared in public. Later in the century, Fanny Burney describes a visit with the court to Cheltenham. All the way upon the road we rarely proceeded 5 miles without encountering a band of the most horrid fiddlers, scraping God Save the King with all their might, out of time, and all in the rain. Oddly enough, although it was loyal, it was not yet regarded as sacred music. At Lyndhurst, in 1789, Fanny Burney attended the parish church to give thanks for her monarch's recovery from one of his bouts of lunacy. After the service, instead of the psalm, imagine our surprise to hear the whole congregation join in God Save the King. Misplaced as this was in a church, its interest was so kind, so loyal, and so affectionate that I believe there was not a dry eye. Miss Burney has also recorded some of the best known occasions on which the anthem was played. At Weymouth, God Save the King is inscribed on the hats and caps of children. All the bargemen wear it in cockades, and even the bathing women have it in large, coarse girdles round their waists. The king bathes, and with great success. A machine follows the royal one into the sea filled with fiddlers who play God Save the King as His Majesty takes his plunge. The anthem was being sung on a May night in the Theatre Royal in 1800 when Hadfield made his unsuccessful attempt on the life of George III. Sheridan improvised a special additional verse on the spur of the moment, expressive of the people's gratitude for the benign intervention of Providence. But neither under the Regency nor under George IV was God Save the King regarded as a sacred melody. It was sung for the first time at a coronation for the crowning of George IV, though a part of the congregation in the Abbey pointedly sang God Save the Queen to show where their sympathies lay in the question of the royal divorce. William IV listened to an odd performance when he and Queen Adelaide opened the new London Bridge in 1831. They dined in the middle of the structure, and during the meal, an official glee party, under Sir George Smart, rendered musical honors, including God Save the King. To Smart's consternation, a man and a woman walked forward, he playing God Save the King with his knuckles on his chin, accompanied by his wife's voice. The king called to me and asked me who they were. I told him I was sorry they had intruded without permission. "Oh no, no intrusion," said the king. "It was charming. Tell them to perform it again." After the accession of Queen Victoria, it is regularly referred to as the national anthem, though the Queen seems to have regarded it as a family anthem as well, for special verses were produced for royal births and marriages. Probably it was in foreign countries that the national anthem was first included in collections of hymns. It is believed to be the first example of its particular meter in any European language. 6.6.466.6.64. Once it had established itself in popular fancy, it was bound to spread. Numberless hymn writers employed the meter, and before the 18th century was out, suitable national words had been composed for the time in Holland and Denmark, and many German states had adopted for their own Schumacher's verse beginning Heil dir im Siegerkranz. Russia used the tune until 1833, and Sweden and Liechtenstein are two other states who have set their own words to the music. The Swiss have no national anthem, but they have written both French and German words to the melody. The American version, My Country 'Tis of Thee, appeared in 1831. Among composers, Haydn was a great admirer of God Save the King, and was instructed to compose something on the same lines when commissioned to write the Emperor's Hymn, better known today in its later form of Deutschland über alles. Beethoven declared, "I must show the English what a blessing they have in God Save the King." He wrote several variations on the tune and included the theme in his tribute to Wellington, the battle. Weber used the melody at least twice, and Brahms wove it into his Triumphlied. J.C. Bach and Liszt are among many others who improvised on the anthem. Since its first popularity in 1745, endless attempts have been made to improve the words. In December of that year, the Gentleman's Magazine declared, "The words have no merit but their loyalty," and offered its own new version, Fame, Let Thy Trumpet Sing. But the public stuck to Arne and Burney. In these settings there was no ambiguity about one's loyalty. Great George, on him our hopes are fixed. Scatter his enemies. May he defend our laws. With the omission of one stanza referring to Marshal Wade crushing rebellious Scots, the 1745 anthem remains substantially the accepted version today. It is a curious fact that an official version seems never to have been laid down. Longfellow's improving lines were included in a Jubilee rendering for Queen Victoria. Lord, let war's tempest cease. Fold the whole world in peace. Under thy wings. In 1919, a peace version of the anthem was approved by the Privy Council and is nowadays included in certain hymn books. In 1931, Mr. Philip Snowden, then Chancellor of the Exchequer, declared in the House of Commons, "It may be information to Hono members to know that the words to which the tune is sung are no part of the national anthem. It is only the tune itself which is the national anthem." However this may be, the final and most precise arbiter on the performance of God Save the Queen does envisage its being sung to the accepted words. This is the appropriate section of Queen's regulations for the Army. The authorized arrangement of the national anthem, as published by Messrs. Boozy and Hawksleitted, will invariably be used, and will be rendered in the following style. The first bars will be played pianissimo at mm 60 crotchets, using the full reeds, horns, and basses. The brass will be brought smartly into playing position on the third beat of the fifth bar. The comets and the side drum will be added on the second beat of the sixth bar. The last 8 bars will be played fortissimo as broadly as possible. For singing, the key of F will be used. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.